Om Kayena vacha manasyendrayirva Bhutyatmanava prakriti swabhava Karomi adyat sakalam paresma Narayanayeeti samarpayami Narayanayeti samarpayami.
Dear Seeker of Truth, welcome. In this series of videos, we are going to talk about Bhakti Yoga, the path of devotion, of divine love, of God realization. So we are going to talk about the Narada Bhakti Sutras, a beautiful work attributed to sage Narada that talks about in full length of the path of devotion. May you all find inspiration in this work. May you all find meaning and purpose in your spiritual quest through these words. This kind of work, these words, these sutras, they bring light and they open the door to the life of the real quest for liberation. May you also find divine love in your heart. Moving on the Narada Bhakti Sutras, 4th chapter, Renunciation. We're going to Sutra number 10. So unification or exclusive devotion or single-heartedness means the giving up of all supports. No other support than God. Not even, or especially not trying to control your life, to fight for safety, to maintain attachments. The only attachment, the only source of security, everything has to be God to achieve single-minded devotion, or else it is not possible. So I will go through certain points concerning this. So the cultivation of devotion may be disturbed by the various influences of daily life. So if we are still holding attachments, dependencies, etc., circumstances of daily life may interrupt your devotion by dragging your attention to solving the problems that are appearing or that are being considered a problem. So when you're controlling or trying to control your environment, your life, your safety, the objects of desire, and all of this, your mind gets pulled away many countless times, and this disrupts the devotion towards God. Desires and cravings will continue to trouble the aspirant. If they are there, if they haven't been cut down, they will continue to trouble the mind of the aspirant, coming again and again and again and again and again and again. So either you cut them, you detach yourself from them, you cut those desires, or you have to go and take care of them. You have to follow them. And this disrupts the cultivation of devotion. And single-heartedness, single-minded devotion will not be achieved. The devotee should not seek anything else but the means employed in the cultivation of devotion. Japa, meditation, listening to the talks about the Lord, singing His name, etc. So this means that the daily life, the normal daily life of the aspirant, his activities should be exclusively those that are aiming to cultivate devotion to the Lord. Japa, the repetition of the divine name, mantra, repetition of the mantra, of the name of God, meditation, listening of the stories of the Lord, singing His names, and everything else that is connected, like reading the scriptures, the stories, all of this, which is connected with developing devotion. Because either you are developing devotion to the Lord or to something else. And single-minded devotion cannot be shared. It has to be fully on God. The devotee knows no one else than its beloved Lord. No one else. And this could be further explained, but it's better to explain this for those who have doubts about it, or else it will create confusion for the rest. The Lord is in all, and all are in Him. This is the greatest truth. And this should be the outlook of the devotee. The Lord is a sole refuge for him. Not circumstances, not other people. It is the Lord alone, which is the refuge of the devotee. So whatever is happening, if the devotee needs refuge, he seeks it in the Lord alone. He lives for the Lord and the Lord alone, so his life is completely dedicated to the Lord, to that devotion, and he works for the Lord alone. His works are only for the Lord, for nothing or no one else. The Lord is his own support, his only strength, his only hope, and his only object of faith. Again, whatever is happening, the mind stays in the Lord, goes to the Lord, continues in the Lord, no matter what. The devotee does not conceive any other object other than his beloved Lord. How then will he seek shelter or any person or object? He sees nothing but the Lord. So this is the mental attitude of a devotee. And this is what leads to single-minded devotion, single-heartedness. This is a very good sentence to explain the spirit of spiritual practice. In the practice of concentration, one should have the same patience and perseverance as that of the bird which tried to empty the ocean with its beak. This is very clear because there's a lot of time involved and it seems that nothing is happening. So the patience and the perseverance that the seeker must develop is of this one, like a bird that tried to empty the ocean with its beak, carrying just that small amount of water. Sutra 11. By indifference to all which are hostile to him is understood the performance of these secular and religious activities which are congenial to him. So, in the, maybe not the previous one, but some previous sutra, it was said that you should move away from everything which is contrary to God. And this also means indifference to all which are hostile to him. This also means that what should be embraced is that which is aligned with God, which directs you to God. So it is more or less the same that has been said previously. So all your activities should raise Your eyes should fill your heart with the love of God, with its remembrance, constantly remembering God. Some points, interest points in only selfish activities have to be given up in order to get rid of desires. Those activities that feed the character, the illusion self, the little self. So everything which is about the little self, little life, only egotistic activities, they have to be given up. But selfless activities, activities that are a service to the Lord, they should be embraced, maintained. So seva is something that should continue. All works that can help to cultivate devotion must be regularly practiced. Your eyes, your mind, your speech, everything, your hearing, everything should be directed to the Lord. Seeing and hearing and speaking about God all the time. There must be cooperation with the divine plan. This may be complicated to interpret, but let's make it simple now. All those actions which are a service to God are His creation, not yourself. So seva, if you have a guru or a saint, serve them. It's more or less the same, but an enlightened being. Or if there's an ashram and you can serve there, all those things that are connected to serving God and its creation, taking care of the poor, helping the needy. But understanding that helping the needy and the poor, it's actually more of helping yourself than helping them. They are there giving you that opportunity to serve them, to serve God through them. Sutra 11. For otherwise there is the risk of fall. So if these observances are not considered, there is a big risk of fall, a very big risk. So if the devotee has made some spiritual progress and is not careful, if he is not observing the rules of scriptures, he may easily relapse into past habits. So those habits that pushed you away from God, if you're not vigilant, if you don't occupy all your time with those actions and activities that direct you to God, that elevate your vibration, that purify your heart, where there are good actions, there cannot be bad actions simultaneously. When there are the actions that elevate your attention towards God, there cannot be actions that move you away from God. But if you don't pay attention and you slack your effort into these activities, vibration comes down and past habits regain strength again and take you over, and you will fall down. Krishna says, "He who ignores the injunction of the scriptures and follows the prompting of desire can neither attain perfection nor happiness nor the supreme state." This is very important. So the injunctions of the scriptures or the instruction of the master, of the guru, it is there to prevent this. And if you don't listen to it, if you move according to desire, you will never attain perfection nor happiness nor the supreme state. Because, I'll give you an example. There is the calling for liberation, the calling for God realization, for example, and it is also in the form of desire. And this desire is enough to take you to the spiritual path, but it will not be enough to maintain you there. When you reach the spiritual path, you must have a strong resolution of, I will go to the end of it. Or else, if you're there just because of that desire and you haven't opened up your horizons, understood this point, you will be motivated by desire, and that desire will change. Because when you understand, and you will understand if you continue in a serious matter, that the path towards God, you will have to put all desires aside. Then there will be a desire to stop that, to turn back, to do something else. And if you're prompted by desire, by your whims and wishes, then you will fall down. The injunctions of the scriptures, or the teachings of the Guru, of the liberated one, they shouldn't be abandoned. They must be embraced, respected. They are there to protect you. Or else you will surely fall down. Another important point, which I already mentioned previously, but it's good to remind: mixing freely with householders gets you a hopeless downfall. What you have gained in rigid sadhana in 12 years will be lost in 12 seconds. So mixing freely with householders, those who have a family life and worldly values and all of this, mixing freely with them. Doesn't matter if you have been dedicated your life and you're in the ashram, for example, and you are working, but then you start mixing with these people, you will fall down. And that's surely, you will surely fall down. So this mixing freely with householders, only after God realization and if it is really a need. But then it doesn't matter anymore. But until then, and observe carefully, what you have gained in rigid sadhana in 12 years will be lost in 12 seconds. This is not exaggeration. And I've seen this happen. So your mind should be with the liberated ones, with the saints, sages, with the devotees. And everything should be about God, nothing about anything worldly, so that you can increase your divine qualities and decrease worldly ones. Sutra 14. Social customs and practices also may be followed in the like manner, to the same extent only as scriptural injunctions, obligations under God. But eating, drinking, dressing should be continued as long as one wears the body. So these daily activities, these daily actions should be followed as scriptural injunctions, while you have not achieved God realization. After that, this may change, because then it's about God's will. In a sense, it is always, but so this has to be maintained. These actions, this serving God should continue. And then after God realization, well, but these other eating, drinking, dressing should continue as long as one wears the body. So these duties should be performed as interesting point. Duties should be performed as spiritual injunctions and not as personal satisfaction of desires and other goals, respected until devotion and purity develops. So, one of the big aspects of difficulties of seva, of service, a service that doesn't want anything in return, it is this point exactly of not wanting anything in return. So this level of purity is very difficult to achieve. This is why all this practice should be undertaken at all times, so that purity can be achieved. Because this is very common for those who practice seva. It's very, very difficult not wanting something in return. You see, ego is like a stain that comes back again and again. You have a white cloth, a stain goes there, then you clean it, disappears, and you think, oh, now it's clean. Poof, appears again. Then you try to clean it and it's difficult to come out. Then it appears to have disappeared, and poof, here it comes back again. It needs complete dedication in the right circumstances. And it's very easy and common to use those actions in some way that I get benefit, either recognition from others, oh, I'm such a pious soul, such a good devotee, such a good seeker of truth, whatever. So it's very difficult to achieve this. So this is why all these disciplines are there, to purify the mind, to reach this level of service, pure service. With purity and devotion, these duties fall, because they were a means to this devotion and purity. So the duties fall, and either they continue, but for a divine purpose, direct divine purpose, or they fall. Eating, dressing will continue as long as the body lives. There are exceptions, of course, but this is how it usually goes. Okay.
Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva bandhushka sakha tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. Tvameva sarvam mama deva deva.